and I'd just be like, and this also was a time when like I just started the show, so I had no income. I was still working at the coffee shop that I worked at. I had no money. I was barely making rent. I was like eating fucking rice and shit because I had no money, and I was like, I had no money whatsoever. And there's times even when I would like skip meals and shit, only eat like one meal a day because I have a very supportive family and stuff, and at any time they have supported me a lot, but I don't like to rely on them and shit. But they by all means, I just don't like. I don't really like to do that. I don't really like to do that. I was just blown away, and I would just drop my phone and just be like shaking. I was like, what the fuck? That's insane. Yes, USD. And he was the biggest. He still is a big Tim Pool. He's a big Tim Pool fan. I'm still friends with him on stuff, so I occasionally like see. Sometimes he tunes in here, just occasionally. But that was like, and I've never had anything like that again. Apparently, that's a normal thing with a lot of streamers, especially like girl streamers who are on Twitch. But like, I know some streamers too personally. Obviously, I can imagine you guys can guess who it is. They're called Oilers. That's what streamers call them, Oilers. No, he wasn't weird at all. He wasn't weird at all. He was just very wealthy, liked my commentary, and just supported me. He wasn't weird, never anything weird, never expected anything. It was just like he was a nice, very, very generous, nice guy, and I was always just so like, was like shocked. I was like taken aback. I would like just like be like, I don't know. I've never had anything like that before. But all I think about now is I'm like, I wonder how many people Tim Pool has like that. Because I'd imagine his audience are more like very like wealthy people that kind of have that ideology. And I'm like, I wonder how many people Tim Pool just has dropping like 2K into his like PayPal every couple days, you know? Oh no. The Oilers in chat. No, we don't. Our community is like the Bernie model. Like you keep the show running through very generous, like $3, $5 super chats day in, day out, and I'm forever thankful and appreciative of that. But like yes, like some people like Zerka, for example, Zerka got like a $35,000 donation to me like a month ago. By the way, shout out to John Zerka. Close friend, I love him. Big streamer on Twitch. Been on his show a lot. You guys have probably seen. He just got surgery. This is public. I'm not like disclosing private information. We posted about it. He just got surgery, and I don't want to fuck up what he said. So let me just. God, I texted him today, and he seems to be doing better. But he said doctors don't know what's wrong with me, but there's organs that are fading, and I'm not going to be streaming for a long time. Just when we got partnered too, after being banned half my career, I still managed to let y'all down one last time. I wish you the best, my dudes. Heavy, bro, heavy. I've been talking to him though. He seems to be doing a little bit better, and I obviously wish nothing but the best. I hope for a speedy recovery. I'm gonna try to help him. He's in LA, so I'm gonna try to help him out whatever way I can with these next few weeks when he's recovering. But yeah. I mean, if you guys, if you know Zerka, if you like John, send him a message, supportive message, and yeah. Maze Jackson, thank you so much for the super chat. Jackson, thanks for never shouting me out for the $5 on PayPal. I did not receive a notification. I'm sorry. Sometimes, did I get it? I don't have a notification for it. Let me pull up the PayPal. If it came with the message, I will definitely read it. Thank you so much. was it today or was it a while ago? I didn't get a PayPal today. I got one from Ross Coyle. Said keep it up, man. I just saw that. Thank you for that. But no, I didn't. And Ross, I have not gotten the book yet. If there's anyone who sends me anything, like for Christmas stuff, like if you sent anything to that address, I probably have not gotten it yet. My apologies, but it is like an hour away from where I live, so I only get those things every so often. But Ross, I know you sent me a book, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm gonna get it this week because Austin's with my roommate's little brother is gonna be coming up here. Julian, thank you for the donation. What mode of donation would you prefer? Whatever works best for you. I mean, they all work, and it just means so much. I mean, yeah, it's crazy, you guys. I love doing this, and I think are most like shocked by all this stuff are my parents. My parents are like they don't get it. Well, they get it now, but there was a time where like when I started the show, they're like they're very supportive. So they were like, go for it, and they watch a lot of my stuff, and they we talk about it a lot and stuff. But I think at first they were both a little bit like, YouTube show, we'll see how this goes, And I think they're the most like I think they're just like very proud because I don't know how, as much as they supported the efforts, I don't know how much they believed in it at first. I think they were just reasonably worried about this new venture, but now proud to see what it's become. My dad's tweet was awesome. It was pretty funny. I sent it to. I've said this before, but I sent it to. I sent it to my two best friends from like I've known since like first grade and one since kindergarten, and they know my dad and my relationship very well. They were dying laughing. I sent it to them. They thought that shit was so funny. Thank you, Julian, again. Can you explain the conversation after your cat ratio? You gotta have the tea here. Do I want to get in that? I guess the. One second. What happened after that? So, first of all, the tweet was really old. The tweet was really, really fucking old. And at the time when my
Okay. What's up, guys? Starting today's show. Haven't had time to watch any news today, so I thought let's burn one down. Let's watch some Jimmy Dore, see how his reaction to the January 6th FBI video goes, and then we will, after we get in the right state of mind, we can burn through some other news and take down these North Congressional candidates. But let us start out. I need to burn one down, and we will check that out second. But first,
a lot of speculation about January 6th. Now, Democrats think January 6th was just like Pearl Harbor and 9/11, even though it was nothing like those things. If those things didn't result in the death of anyone.
Did you see the thing of the deaths of that day? And most of them are people dropping dead of like pulmonary disease.
Yeah, like heart
they're
attack.
Yelling too much.
The only person killed was a protester. She got shot in the neck, right?
Yeah, and then there were 2 suicides later. It's really strange how you add up to these death numbers. But
like they like to say 6 people died. I think it was just the one lady got shot by the cops, and then a cop died later. But wasn't that like a heart attack or something?
No,
and I heard some crazy people saying 150. And I heard somebody else say 1,500. I don't know where that number comes from at all.
2 suicides, supposedly. I got this from...
By cops?
Factcheck.org.
This is from Fact. You got it? All right, so let's get into it. So let's get... here's a guy... Yeah. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about this guy. This guy's name is Epps. So here, let me show you this guy.
Ray Epps.
The Ray Epps. This might be loud, so get ready to turn it down.
I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail for it, okay? Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol.
So I don't know if you heard. He said tomorrow we have to go into the Capitol. And then you hear this guy go, what? And everybody goes, no. And they start calling him a Fed. Here, I'll play it again.
I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail for it, okay? Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. Peacefully. Fed.
And then they start chanting that he's a Fed.
Oh, because I don't know, like every single one of these events has at least 3 to 5 people trying to infiltrate and instigate as a Fed, CIA, local police. That's standard procedure.
Now, is he a Fed? I don't know. But it's weird that that guy, or an informant or whatever, it doesn't look like it. But what's interesting is that guy was on the FBI's most wanted list for a couple of months, as if they couldn't find him. He's not hard to find. And then they just took him off, and they didn't tell anybody why. And then when they asked the people from the attorney generals and the FBI about it, they all act like they don't know anything. So to me, there's some 2 pieces of interesting video I'm going to show you right now. And so one is Tom Cotton interviewing, I think, the Assistant Attorney General. So let's watch.
Mr. Olson, on July 28, 2020, you signed a public letter attacking the Trump administration for using Department of Homeland Security officers to help protect the federal courthouse in Portland from violent rioters. That letter states...
Oh, I hate this man. This is all rehash for me, guys. I did these about 4 years ago as well, but Tom Cotton boils my skin. He is a massive sellout, horrible human. And
quote,
yeah.
Plainclothes officers and...
Boy, Tom Cotton really likes to sit erect. Like he's got to talk about having a fucking steel rod up your ass. He's just...
Right?
He's a robot.
Look at that. That is... Anyway, here we go.
Guy's a robot.
Unmarked vehicle should be used only in limited capacities and clearly identified circumstances. Crowd control is not among those circumstances.
Can't believe
Mr.
it.
Olson, on January 6, 2021, did the Department of Justice or FBI have any plainclothes officers among the crowd at the Capitol?
Senator, I'm not aware of whether or not there were plainclothes officers in among the crowd.
You're not aware if there were plainclothes? What?
Yeah, right?
It's been a year. You don't know that? Like that, wouldn't that be the number one thing? You'd want to interview those guys or people? Isn't that crazy? I think that's crazy. Okay, here we go. And look how super cash he is too. I'm always suspect of the guys who are being questioned and insulted to their face when they're super cash about it. Tells me I think that they're hiding something.
And I have to say this. I think it's suspect that he has to have his camera so far out that I can see what a loyal dude he is.
Look at this. So he's got the Department of Justice above him. He's got the flag here. He's got the other flag there. He's got this. If this doesn't look like Nazi propaganda, this looks like something Heidi Rice. What was her name? She did all the videos of
look at the Leni Riefenstahl.
Yeah.
Good
Look
pull.
at the flags are like angel wings coming out of his back and a halo. And then he has a halo.
And a halo.
Oh, no.
You are correct. Let's go. There's more.
Wow. They must have the cinematographer from Euphoria on HBO doing this. Really great shots.
Did any plainclothes officers enter the Capitol on January 6th?
I don't know the answer to that, Senator.
What?
Mr.
How do you not know the answers to these questions? Here we go.
So I got to say, your answers to many questions today are disappointing because they boil down to essentially, I don't know. Did you
I don't know.
prepare for this hearing? Did you know this hearing was happening before this morning?
Fair question, I think, by the way.
The direct answer, yes, I prepared extensively, Senator. Many of the questions are about specific information.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, dude. I'm with you.
Well, I mean, what was the
I think that's one of the most important points that I would emphasize is, it's again, it's a general matter. It's not appropriate to comment on ongoing investigations.
Well, I didn't ask you about an ongoing investigation, but I just flipped to the cover. My binder here says the title of this hearing is the domestic terrorism threat 1 year after January 6th. The Attorney General has repeatedly said this is one of the department's highest priority. You're testifying at a hearing about the domestic terrorism threat 1 year after January 6th. You can't answer questions about how many people have been charged for events arising on January 6th. Would you go into a briefing with the Attorney General, your boss, and not be able to answer such basic questions?
On the last question you asked, Senator, over 700 people have been charged in connection with January 6th. About 325 have been charged with serious felonies in connection with the.
10 minutes ago, Senator Cruz asked you this series of questions, and you didn't.
Wow. Again, this is completely, it was posted like 8 hours ago. I've been at work all day, so. Wow. I already hate Tom Cotton, so just fuel the fire.
You didn't have the answer. You didn't have the answer for how many people have been charged with violent offenses or non-violent offenses and so on and so forth. Have you given an answer in the last 10 minutes?
I don't know who he's talking to, but I also hate him now.
I'm sorry, Senator, but I believe that Senator Cruz was asking me about other events, not the January 6th event.
Okay, let's turn to another issue that came up earlier today. Ray Epps. During the January 6th riots last year, Mr. Epps was caught on video several times. He seemed to encourage people to enter the Capitol, to break down police barriers. Video from the rallies, or from the rally down the National Mall early that day shows him doing the same thing. Video even from the night before shows him encouraging people to enter the Capitol. Ray Epps lives in Arizona. He didn't exactly go underground after January 6th. He even gave an interview to local media, and he was well known to the Department of Justice. He was on the FBI's Capitol Riot Most Wanted page just days after January 6th.
He also had like dozens of paid ops, and he had all the he had acting gigs, but he also had like acting gigs for like psyops and all these cover things. So he was so deeply connected with. I mean, he could literally be a police gang member for all we know. Is how deep his roots could roll.
In fact, he was one of the first 16 suspects added to that most wanted page on your website. It does not appear that he's been arrested or charged in any offense. In July, without explanation, he was removed from the FBI's most wanted page. Mr. Olson, who is Ray Epps, and why was he removed from the FBI's most wanted list?
So now that's the guy that I showed you at the top of the segment who was saying we got to go into the thing, and they all called him a Fed. Okay.
Senator, I don't have any information about that.
He doesn't have any information.
I would defer to Ms. Sanborn for any additional.
Okay.
He's got no information on that guy.
And frankly, I don't want to know.
So
is he?
So,
wait, so he's remote talking to this guy, like
Yes.
he's on a remote.
Yes.
So he set that scene up of
Yes.
angel wings and a halo.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes. So he never. I don't know.
It's not going to happen. Not going to have any angel wings coming behind me. It is going to be a blank room or a blank bedroom, because that's how I live, yo.
I don't know anything about that
Angel
guy.
wings.
The guy who was on the
Fantastic.
most wanted list from the January 6th thing. You don't know anything about him. You don't know why he was put on the list. You don't know why he was taken off the list. Wow. So here, let's watch Ted Cruz.
How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
You turn it up a little. That's it.
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Did any FBI? Sir, I can't answer that.
Can't answer.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Can't answer.
Did any FBI agents?
No, this is going to take forever. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I just watched. This is why I watched Jimmy. Because, yeah. When he does non-COVID stuff, it's fantastic. Fantastic stuff.
Or FBI informants?
A year later, can't answer the question to a senator. Did any FBI agents or FBI informants commit violence on January 6th? I can't answer that. What? So you see how this isn't really working to tamp down people's conspiracy theories? You see how this isn't working to do that? What? You don't think that the FBI... First of all, I think the FBI and the CIA are always up to nefarious shit. Always. Always. You just got to find out what it is.
See that bright brain full of activity? That's a healthy 18-year-old brain. Mine is the other one.
Do you think people generally, because there's one thing I noticed is this, I've heard of this for a while from other things like crime, like those mafia guys podcasts, they talk about it. The things you would think are entrapment are not entrapment legally. They just have to prove you did a thing that's in your nature.
Yes.
And I don't think people are that aware, like all the Muslims that they were spying on, that everybody's like, oh, good, they probably should spy on them and see what they're up to because of terrorism. That's the tricks they did. They'd have some guy just like this, what's his name again? Ray Epps. They have they'd have a Muslim Ray Epps go in a mosque and try to stir up something and come up with a plan, and then the people do it, and then they come in and arrest them, and then they get their funding goes up. And this is the same. I don't think people are aware, like, to them that's not even a conspiracy to do that. They're allowed to do that legally.
Yes. Yes. All right, let's get back to Ted Cruz. Yes, you're correct. They look what they did with the Michigan governor. There are 9 people going to do a kidnapping, and 5 of them are feds in the truck. It was like, what?
Actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th.
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sandberg, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered, and there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sanborn, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
She can't answer the question. And now anybody who thinks there's something going on here is going to be painted now as by the establishment press. So I don't know what's going on here, but something's going on here. A year later, nobody can answer any. I don't know. What have you guys been doing? Getting haircuts for a year? What the fuck have you been doing all day?
She's been on the trail of Dr. Hannibal Lecter, Jimmy. Didn't you see?
This is our Pearl Harbor, 9/11. A year later, you don't know anything about anything? You can't even tell us if there were feds that were a part of this yet? Here we go.
The next day, on January 6th, Mr. Epps is seen whispering to a person, and 5 seconds later, 5 seconds after he's whispering to a person, that same person begins to forcibly tear down the barricades. Did Mr. Epps urge them to tear down the barricades?
Sir, similar to the other answers, I cannot answer that.
Can't answer that question.
Shortly thereafter, the FBI put out a public post seeking.
Why don't you know that? That would be my next. I wish Ted would have asked that. Why don't you know that?
Information on individuals connected with violent crimes on January 6th. Among those individuals, in the bottom there, is Mr. Epps. The FBI publicly asked for information, offering cash rewards leading to information leading to the arrest.
Now, if he was an FBI informant or whatever, or an instigator, why would they put him on that list? That's the thing so that's the kind of thing that kills this theory, I think. But they also could be just that incompetent. They're all sitting there pretending they don't know who the fuck he is.
Don't they arrest the agent too at first, and then like Donnie Brasco gets arrested with the rest of the guys, and then he's quietly let out later?
I would not put that past that. That's another thing. I wouldn't. So that's what people are pointing to say it kills the theory. Why would they put him on the most wanted list? And just like what you're saying, like, I don't know, they do a lot of crazy nefarious shit to throw the dogs off the scent. So why, if he's not a Fed, why wouldn't you just say it and end this?
Yeah.
Why would you just say, no, we've looked into it, we've interviewed him, we're the Feds, and he's not one? Why couldn't they just say that?
Yeah, right.
They didn't even talk about if they interviewed him. Well, we're going to get to that. Hold on.
This was posted, and then sometime later, magically, Mr. Epps disappeared from the public posting. According to public records, Mr. Epps has not been charged with anything. No one's explained why a person videoed urging people to go to the Capitol, a person whose conduct was so suspect the crowd believed he was a Fed, would magically disappear from the list of people the FBI was looking at. Ms. Sandburn, a lot of Americans are concerned that the federal government deliberately encouraged illegal and violent conduct on January 6th. My question to you, and this is not an ordinary law enforcement question, this is a question of public accountability. Did federal agents or those in service of federal agent actively encourage violent and criminal conduct on January 6th?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Not to my knowledge.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Do they have an earpiece or something that tells them what legalese to say?
No, I think they just do it all day. So here's what Glenn Greenwald said. He said, hate Ted Cruz all you want, but these questions about the FBI's role in January 6th are vital because it's what the FBI did in the first war on terror and with the Whitmer case. They did the stuff that people think they're doing now in January 6th. So people are the establishment media is trying to make it look like you're a crazy nutball if you think the FBI would ever be involved in instigating a riot or anything like that. Even though we know they did it in the first war on terror and they're doing that shit in the Whitmer case. I just talked about that. But also because there's ample evidence that they did it here on January 6th. The media's indifference is shameful. It's not indifference. The media is actively ignoring it. That they're willfully not reporting on this. And they're spinning it every other way possible. But Ted Cruz is one of the bad people, so nothing he asks is valid, even the valid questions that he asks. And if one of the good people asked these questions, if one of the good people would have asked these questions, guess what would happen? They'd automatically become one of the bad people.
Right.
Just like I am, because I ask all the questions a good person wouldn't ask. So here's Glenn goes on. He says, from the start, there has been ample reason to believe FBI's involvement in January 6th was significant. But there's been no pressure to find out because most of the corporate media, subservient as always to the security state, renders the topic off limits. Personally, Glenn, I have a different theory. I think this tragic insurrection happened because all these people were just upset they can't date AOC. If you don't believe me, ask AOC. I apologize to the large number of liberals and some of their left allies for impugning the integrity of the FBI and suggesting that they may not have been entirely forthcoming about their role in January 6th. A conspiracy theory that popped up even in Congress this week. Ray Epps was no secret government agent. How does Politico know this? Are you ready for how Politico knows this? First of all, thank God Politico. The Politico, the voice of reason, is here to bring the debunk hammer down on this far-fetched conspiracy theory that Ray Epps is a secret government agent just because the FBI won't say yes or no whether to a sitting fucking senator whether Ray Epps was FBI or not. God damn. What's with these conspiracies? See, look, it doesn't matter what the FBI won't answer because the January 6th committee already got to the bottom of things. These are people who get better stock returns than Warren Buffett, ladies and gentlemen. That's how smart they are. So I think they can handle a little thing like investigating January 6th. And I wouldn't want to be Glenn Greenwald right now because he's about to get destroyed with facts, I bet. Here's what fucking Politico says. In a statement, the January 6th committee indicated it had interviewed Ray Epps. Oh, the committee did. Did the FBI interview him? The committee, did the FBI interview him? So this is their big debunking. The committee interviewed Ray Epps, an Arizona man who was seen on video in Washington, January, Mr. Epps. A spokesperson for the committee said, Mr. Epps informed us that he was not employed by or working with or acting at the direction of any law enforcement agency on January 5th or 6th at any other time, and that he has never been an informant for the FBI or any other law enforcement agency. So, there you go. They asked Ray Epps. He said no. Fucking debunked. Are you happy, conspiracy crazy? The guy said it's not real. The guy being accused. The FBI couldn't say one way or the other, but that guy said it.
Hey,
and why would he lie? What's that?
Guy say he didn't do it. I don't know what to tell you.
Guy say he didn't do it. He didn't do it. What do you want me to do? The guy said he didn't do it. Hey, Vinny. The guy said he didn't do it. He didn't do it. There you have it. Ray Epps was asked if he was working for the FBI, and he said no. I bet Glenn Greenwald feels like a real history of recklessly setting up fake terrorist plots through the use of informants, especially as a tool in the war on terror. Ray Epps as FBI agent is at best speculation.
You do it.
That is fantastic. I had to speed up at the end, guys. That's too late at night for a 20-minute video, but yeah, that's some great stuff. They it is not just speculative. They instigate constantly, and to think that this would happen again is just standard procedure, not speculation. Let's not be surprised at all. But thank you, Jimmy. Much better stuff today. And let's check this out. Oop.
We do things our way. The way we met, the way we laugh.
Oh, fantastic
We're
commercial.
different. We're just us.
I'm watching it.
And it's perfect. Easy.
That's great.
Same with our ring. We did our own thing. On BlueNile.com, we found our diamond, chose our style.
No going over it, no passing through.
Us. Make the moment sparkle at
Check out this
BlueNile.com.
Congressional member before we take down some Congressional.
Black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana laws than white people.
And that's all they give us on him, huh? Okay. Well, challenge accepted. I will throw him in the list.
Flex, torque, so many options. Engagement rings?
More advertising because that's where we're at. Yep, all right. So Alma Adams. Stony Progressive, guys. I'm going to be doing a takedown. I did one before. I'm not going to dig deep into her today, but I can promise you she is a corporate Democrat. 2018, I believe, is when I did my video on her if you want to look up the past. But let's look over today. Alma Adams. She is the Congressional 12th District. The 12th District in North Carolina is of Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is a gerrymandered state area. They broke Charlotte, the city, into one area that they tried to squeeze just one Democrat out of the area. And then they picked apart the suburbs of Charlotte to filter it out with some rural areas of North Carolina to make sure that it was a Republican-based, as many Republicans as they could in the state, and rob the city of Charlotte of 2 congressional representatives. Alma Adams has been the representative for quite a while. 2014 is when she started out, and since she's been in Congress, she is, take a look at her history here. She is a North Carolina start-out, went to school at Ohio State, and then with her PhD, came back to North Carolina in Greensboro, and now is the Democrat prime person. You can see she was right up into moving into the House of Representatives for the city of North Carolina. She was a Greensboro resident. She's not a Charlotte resident technically. I believe she spends like 58 days in the actual city of Charlotte or something like that. There's an old debate video with a candidate down here I'll get to who called her out on a lot of fun things. She is not a Charlotte resident, but somehow she just blows away the competition in Charlotte for some reason, even though she's not really a Charlotte person. Shows her face a few days for a few photo ops and then takes out of town. Works in the financial services for the committees, huh? That's interesting. Charlotte being the second financial district in America at the moment, behind New York. Committee on Agriculture, yeah, because the city of Charlotte, I really think of agriculture. That's what hits me right in the head. And then of course education and workforce. And if I remember right, her money comes from a lot of PACs towards school of choice kind of thing. So her education and workforce committees are tied into the money that she receives. It is not a fantastic idea, and that's basically what she's been on: the agriculture, education, and workforce. The financial services is a new one that they've pushed her on here these last couple of years. Her first years, it was agriculture, education, and workforce. LP is good for a few things. Again, I will say I will not go over all of these because everybody's opinion on certain bills are different. They do give you a handful here on Ballotpedia. What I always like to see is what the past is in the city here. Her primary is going to be just straight up always smoking competition, even though she doesn't have anything to say. She's she just I'm here already, so let's keep me here. It's she doesn't have a debate style or anything. It's nothing impressive. Patrick Register was the one I was talking about. He has a really good video that he was taking her down at a town hall, like as a person in the audience. He had somebody videoing him in the town hall talking to her, and she was just baffled and stumbled and treated him like a whatever, get out of my face, when he was literally running for office at the moment, but he couldn't, like, he wasn't allowed to speak on these kind of things, so he just had to show his face. And you can see in the primary there, she takes the House. She has the money, she has the corporate Democrat money, and so she takes the House pretty well. And like I said, it's not like a rough district to run for her. Charlotte runs blue through. It's just going to go blue easily and often. So Ballotpedia is good for that stuff. Open Secrets is a lot better. That's my favorite, of course, guys. And I had refound the financial thing. So she's only worth $407,000. Isn't that great? This is one of my most telling signs whenever I look at these, is that if you're worth 200, 300,000 and it never goes up while you're in Congress, making $174,000 a year, while you are getting you have every benefit on the planet at the moment, like you just have amazing benefits, you have a very nice salary, but your income stops when you get into Congress, that is a red flag, massive red flag in my book. If you want to dig, I will dig more when it comes to actually election time, but she is not only worth $400,000. I promise you that. And a couple assets worth $700,000 there, an annuities account, and a retirement plan, which isn't any red flags at that, but the red flag is, again, the fact that she's worth $374,000, and that is all. That is always a massive thing. This isn't going to have any cash on hand, but Open Secrets is fantastic for that. And then the next part of Open Secrets, look at where she gets her money from. My favorite section is I want to know who you're owned by. And top contributors, always great group, the Schneider Group, United Auto Workers. So that looks really nice on the top there. Some credit companies, banks. That is kind of not a good thing. Banks are not exactly neutral opinions when it comes to our financing of Congress members. Banks do not look out for everyone. And if you look at her top contributors here, Federation of Teachers, I mean, that's a good thing, but a lot of these are private companies that probably are lobbyists, banks, or some sort of dirty corp, and then banks, and then Duke Energy. Of course, I mean, that's just going to be a standard for any of the corporate shells in that area. And she has not had much money this year. She did not have a very contested year in 2020. Take a look. Sugar, Health, Teachers Association, AT&T, Lowe's, Auto Workers, Duke Energy. So the same people. Postal Workers Union. So a few unions. So I knew in Charlotte, when you take a look at her sheet, her few attentions into Charlotte are going to be based really heavily on going to churches and then going to unions. And like, if she's going to spend 60 days in Charlotte, that's what she's going to do. She's going to hit those hard. And she makes her face appearances and she does it well, but she is very much owned by corporate America. If you pop in, let's just take a look at something she has done recently. I love this. This is fantastic. And I have to, I am a nobody channel and barely here, guys, but Alma Adams at Congressional of Charlotte, a million people city. And if she was, a person of the city, you would think she might have more than 4 views on her MLK as an elder black woman. She should have some views, right? Let's give her some more views. Oh, that's fantastic.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we unite as a community to do what history requires and honor demands. We pay tribute to the life of the Right Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights champion and one who valued service to all people. Dr. King said life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? He added, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have.
Do they bring her into the studio? Like, hey, we have this very African woman studio. We bring you in, take this video, and then you can go about your day. Like, she's super dressed up like she's going out. She's stopping to do this video for a minute. I'm not watching 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes of this. This was absolutely a couple moments. I can't do this for too long. But she is absolutely just
to have a college
8 views. This was a couple days ago.
Subject and your verb agreed to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love.
And she's reading it. She's reading it. Come on, you're not reading it. You don't have some actual heart-filled words to say for the day. You're gonna come into a blatant studio, set up somebody's gonna set up a video for you, and you're gonna read from a teleprompter for a 4-minute video. That's unacceptable. Please, City of Charlotte, please do not vote for her. Vote for Republican over this lady. She is any voting that she has done in the past, and I can promise you, when I looked at this 4 years ago, she is a straight corporate Democrat vote. She will not push any issues. She will not lobby for anything strong or progressive or that's going to actually help America. She will fall in order with Pelosi and only do what will make her some, I'm sure her banking friends a ton of money. And when she steps out of this, which she can step out anytime, when she steps out, she will get a nice fat retirement check and never have to work again, besides the actual, being a congressperson for 8 years now. Please, somebody primary her. And if you have a problem with her, check her out. Charlotte, North Carolina. She is right here at 202-225-1510. You can absolutely take her down and call her and tell her that her voting record needs to be progressive, that you want a progressive in town. Maybe you can push her, but I highly doubt it. Charlotte doesn't have to be only a banking city. There's a lot of people in that city that makes the city run. And it doesn't have to be just the bank money that controls this one person. And she pretends to be for teachers. She pretends to be for unions, but she's not going to do anything progressive. And we can let go of her. So I am all for anybody at all to jump on. And that Patrick, I don't know why he didn't run again. I guess I followed him when I was leaving Charlotte there, Patrick Register. So just a fantastic name there to try to have to sign many times. He was an ex-bartender or still possibly a bartender. And did I not do this right? What is her name? But okay, so I don't know this person. Fantastic. That's working out well. That's why I like to load things first. That did not work out. Well, I will, I guess, maybe try to do one of these a day so I can load the whole, I want to load all the sites to do them properly. Let's take a look at Rad Indie Media, I guess, for a minute while I reprocess that. Rad Indie Media, this is done by Lee Camp. Eleanor Goldfield, and they always say another name, but just the website to kind of give you all a basic staple of news, all in one site that won't be taken down, that won't be edited, won't be advertised, it won't steal your information. And they actually take you to, like, Consortium News, they take you to Richard Medhurst, they take you to Caitlin Johnston's sites, and they take you to the site so that the people actually get they get credit on the internet, the real news. Gotta check that out, right? Actually already have. So, and they just do a lot of indie media. A U of M thing always catches my eye. It's an opinion piece, but it's the real news network. It's a little bit more independent than anything you're going to catch on Apple News or Facebook or Twitter or anything like that. And the embarrassing battle of fall of the university president. I read this. It is quite tedious, not entertaining, but the fact that now former university president Mark Schissel was fired for a romantic relationship with subordinate and not for his myriad of other fireable offenses says a lot about the university's priorities. And I will promise you that it's not just their university. There's every story I can hear on when they talk to academics is that there are scandals galore happening on the top. And when you hit those upper echelons of multi-million-dollar, the president, some board members and such, when you hit those type of people, they're untouchables, and they feel like it, they act like it, and the list of things that could actually take them out is immeasurable, and we fall upon small swords and daggers to fire them so that their names aren't properly tarnished to what they've actually done in their tenure. And University of Michigan is not my favorite place, so good for them to have a fall. But I promise you there's 1,000 more out there, and nobody is no university is some safe haven that's not going to be tarnished and tarnished by the many problems of our corrupt millionaire system. I mean, universities, healthcare, politics, every CEO, everybody over that income hits a point of moral decay that they just cannot come back from, and they don't look out for society, they don't look out for anything but those that they actually can personally feel the pains of, friends and family. That's the only people within their circle, within their bubble. They don't care anything beyond that, and I literally see it on a day-to-day basis. I'm not going to come out here and rant bar rants tonight, but it's a constant thing, and these people on the top. And this is what we need, is journalism to actually hold some people accountable and not just sidestep the powerful and let them walk all over interviews like on CNN or MSNBC or Fox. They're just all fake news. I'll say fake news on that because they're just awful. If you want some real news, go to actual journalists. I'll preach this every night if I have to. Ava Bartlett, Vanessa Beeley in the Middle East, they're actually usually there. Ben Norton and Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate from the Gray Zone. These guys are constantly actually doing work. I'm not going to come up with all the names I want to say right now, but dig and find some people who are actually doing journalism. Do not just fall to the sides of those who have corporate powers and corporate channels. Even on like direct TV, you have free speech TV, so you can get some independent news there. And but don't go back down to OAN or AON or whatever the hell that's called, because that's not even news. It's look to see who owns the company, look to see who's the president or the CEO, and you will quickly know if they have an agenda or not. And even before when he owned it originally, like Free Speech TV was owned by I think Gore, and yeah, he has alternative motives. He's a billionaire by this point probably, or mega 100 millionaire. He had alternative motives. He's not actually looking out for the planet. His candidacy was false too. And Nader tried to warn us, and we always vote for the two parties. There's other things that can happen. Don't vote within the two-party system. Striking, protests are the way to push politicians. Don't vote for the two parties. Go and vote for local measures, and don't even vote for the party system. Vote for your local measures. Vote for your local politician, independent politicians, and say nay to the two parties, and actually put some pressure on these next two election cycles. Let's do something about it. I don't think I've said anything tonight that's going to offend the censors or get blocked. So good night, guys. I am going to start to try to check out, and I will come back tomorrow with Deborah Ross and maybe some Tom Cotton. I haven't done him in a few years. That guy could let's dig into his past. But tomorrow night, let's do Deborah Ross, and hopefully I get some more news clips for you. And let's burn through some news tomorrow.